Unrivaled League needs Caitlin Clark, and they are preparing to offer her a massive deal.
Angel Reese and Aya Wilson are suddenly under pressure after Caitlin Clark's leaked contract stunned the league, shattering the illusion that they were part of an exclusive circle. Behind closed doors, Breanna Stewart had already put a jaw-dropping offer on the table for Clark, leaving everyone else completely blindsided.
It has just been reported today that Caitlin Clark could receive a Lionel Messi-like offer to play in Unrivaled startup 3-on-3 league, which is a full-court press to sign.
The strategy was crystal clear. Unrivaled didn't just secretly sign Clark, they locked her under a heavy non-disclosure clause, treating the deal like classified intelligence.
This is also interesting to me because I feel like it is kind of late in the game to start recruiting Caitlin Clark. The Unrivaled League has...
But now, Clark has had enough of the silence. She's speaking out loud and clear, telling everyone who celebrated her absence from Unrivaled that they were dead wrong.
Caitlin Clark is needed for this league. It should be one of their main goals is to get her to play in the league no matter what that costs, no matter what that is going to.
Unrivaled isn't just another league. It's the bold new face of women's basketball, built with one mission, to flip the script on the entire sport. And if you don't know the full story yet, let me break it down. This league never intended to play by anyone else's rules.
Now they're realizing we might need Caitlin. Nafisa Collier, who is one of the founders of Unrivaled, had this to say about Caitlin.
Backed by giants like Breanna Stewart and other heavyweights, Unrivaled isn't simply a league, it's a movement. Think 3 electrifying games, primetime coverage, and a spotlight that women's basketball hasn't seen in decades. And from the very beginning, they weren't just looking for players to fill a roster. No, they had one star in their sights, Caitlin Clark.
Go ahead and look. Everywhere you turn, Indiana Fever's...
But when Unrivaled finally launched, everything twisted. The biggest rising star, Caitlin Clark, was nowhere to be seen. Fans were stunned. Talk shows kept hammering the same question, and social media absolutely exploded. Comment sections were flooded with one demand. Where is Caitlin Clark?
It's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats.
Brand new. It's going to be hard to get eyeballs on it. All of these, I mean, the WNBA is in their 28th season and it's still a new league. Like, it's hard to get the kind of virality, viewership, all the things that you want right off the bat. And especially if you don't have a big name or a big...
You don't see a rookie move like this every day. For most fans, it felt like a slap in the face when Clark wasn't even on the starting lineup of the hottest new league. Attendance had already surged by 50%, yet Unrivaled seemed blind to her value. Or worse, it looked like they doubted they could make their grand debut with her front and center.
Kind of physicality and double teams and face guards and all of those things that she was receiving on the court, but also all of the noise, all of the drama, all of the like media circus surrounding her off the court, like that just had to have been so much to handle.
But Breanna Stewart and her powerhouse team knew exactly what they were doing. Stewart, one of Unrivaled's co-founders, is no stranger to timing a reveal for maximum impact. Clark's absence wasn't an oversight. It was part of the plan. They wanted suspense. They wanted fans buzzing with questions. They didn't want Clark's mega deal to overshadow the rest of the roster too soon. So they built tension deliberately, knowing that when the truth came out, it would land like a thunderclap.
She should be one of the top paid players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing.
Then came the bombshell. Caitlin Clark had been offered a jaw-dropping $75 million to join Unrivaled. The leaks shook the sports world like an earthquake. Clark wasn't just joining, she was becoming the face of the league, its ultimate ambassador and a marketing force. The package was massive: guaranteed salary, endorsement deals, exclusive TV rights, and even a front-row role in Unrivaled's bold international expansion plans.
To drive revenue so we can give the players extra income opportunities. I had to educate the players. They're like, good, 75 million divided by 144, pay them.
The secrecy had one goal: to prevent chaos before the timing was right. Stewart and her team knew the moment players saw Clark's numbers, shockwaves would ripple through the league. Aya Wilson, the reigning WNBA MVP, makes around $230,000 a year. Clark's deal screamed new era And it didn't just raise eyebrows, it redefined the very ceiling of women's basketball contracts.
It was just announced recently that Unrivaled struck a television deal with TNT. Now, this exclusive media rights deal is reported to be 45 plus primetime games. TNT Sports are also invested in the league, and sources say that it's a 6-year deal that could be worth more than $100 million.
To put things in perspective, the WNBA averaged about 657,000 viewers per game in 2024, with Clark as the centerpiece. Now, with the blockbuster deal secured with TNT, Unrivaled is making its intentions crystal clear. They want women's basketball in prime time. We're talking over 45 nationally televised games and an aggressive push to attract audiences at a level the WNBA hasn't yet achieved. Their gamble? That Clark can not only match those numbers, but double them.
Probably the biggest issue that players have. We did a player survey and travel. The league was able to kind of take a lot of pressure off of it.
Fans are eating it up. But behind the curtain, Clark's future teammates, elite names like Angel Reese and Aya Wilson, are feeling a different kind of pressure. Clark's mega contract isn't just shocking. It's a brutal reminder of the financial gap that still defines the sport.
There have been so many players, coaches, media personality who have been so afraid to just admit the fact that Caitlin Clark has been the sole reason for so many of these things happening this season in the WNBA.
Angel Reese even took to social media, venting her frustration that years of blood, sweat, and sacrifice could be overshadowed by one rookie's golden deal. And who could blame her? When star players are making between $150,000 and $200,000 a season, Clark's $75 million offer, more than 20 times their salary, feels like a gut punch.
What's the headline? It says, we're not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue share.
And here's where it gets even messier. On one hand, this deal could revolutionize women's sports, breaking barriers and finally delivering the paydays athletes deserve. But on the other hand, it risks igniting real tension. The WNBA has fought tooth and nail for respect, visibility, and fair pay. Now they're watching a rookie walk into Unrivaled with a deal that eclipses anything they've ever seen. It's easy to see why resentment could brew when a player still at the start of her career suddenly stands in a league of her own, financially and athletically.
We didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a...
Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She's a phenomenon, a walking headline, a marketing juggernaut, and the face of a movement. Her rookie season in the WNBA proved exactly why. In a league that has long struggled with attendance compared to the men's game, Clark was the spark they've been waiting for.
Raised overall viewership. Like Nafisa said, they're changing venues just to accommodate all the fans who want to come watch Caitlin Clark.
The Clark effect was undeniable. Arena attendance skyrocketed by 50%. Fans packed stadiums just to witness her magic live. On TV, her games pulled in over 1 million viewers, numbers the WNBA had never seen before. Clark didn't just step into the league, she ignited it. Her highlights dominated social media, racking up millions of views, while her presence kept audiences glued to the screen long after the final buzzer.
A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, saying, well, you giving her all this.
And then came the merchandise frenzy. Fans didn't just want to watch Clark, they wanted to own a piece of her story. Her jersey sales shattered records, outpacing even NBA stars and rewriting the business side of women's basketball. With her name, her style, and her sheer impact, Clark gave the WNBA something priceless, mainstream recognition. For years, the league had fought for respect, for visibility, for its rightful place. Then, seemingly overnight, Clark delivered it, attracting not only diehard basketball fans, but also a whole new generation of younger, global supporters.
We have former NBA players playing in Big Three, right? So for Cube to come out and be like, I'm going to pay Caitlin Clark more than I play any of these guys who used to play in the NBA. I'm going to pay Caitlin Clark more because that's the value that I see in.
Before Unrivaled's record-breaking offer, another league had already tried to lure Caitlin Clark. To put it in perspective, the top stars in Ice Cube's Big Three league, mostly retired NBA legends, earn between $500,000 and $1.1 million a season. But Cube was prepared to offer Clark 6 times that amount. This wasn't just about adding a talented player. It was about injecting Clark's electricity and charisma into a league long defined by its all-male, big-name lineup.
So unapologetic with the way that he came out and said, this is who we want, this is the value that we see in her, regardless. If she can't make a game, that's totally fine. We know that it coincides with WNBA.
This wasn't just a sports contract. It was a statement. In a league stacked with ex-NBA heavyweights, Cube was willing to break tradition, challenge egos, and rewrite the rules just to bring Clark in. He recognized something bigger than women's basketball in her game. Clark wasn't just an athlete. She was a magnet capable of pulling fans across every corner of the sports world.
Lisa Leslie, Nancy Lieberman, like there are legends among us in the big three, and there are high-level former professional athletes on our courts, and he was okay putting it out there because he knew how much it could help the big.
But here's where Clark's story takes a surprising twist. She turned Cube down. Instead of chasing a fast payday or fame in a men's league, she doubled down on the WNBA. To her, it wasn't just about money. It was about building a legacy. Clark saw the WNBA as her home, a place to grow, and a league where she could elevate not just herself, but everyone around her. That choice spoke volumes. She was here for the long game and for the future of women's basketball.
Unrivaled would have taken that exact approach, and what it feels like to me is Caitlin Clark was an afterthought in all of this. And maybe she was, maybe she wasn't, maybe they wanted to wait until after the WNBA.
So, when Unrivaled came back with their $75 million mega deal, they knew they weren't simply signing a star. They were securing a once-in-a-generation talent. A player who had already proven her loyalty, her ambition, and her willingness to put the sport first. Clark's decision set a new benchmark in loyalty across all of sports. Sure, the money mattered, but for her, staying was about something greater, lifting women's basketball higher than it had ever gone before.